What kind of emotion and feeling does the garden evoke? That's what I'm interested in. It's like walking into somebody's house. What kind of feeling do you get? Same thing about a garden. What kind of feeling do you get when you sit out here and look at this garden? I've been here since 1956. I was 12 years old. We moved over here in August. I went to University of Tennessee Law School and graduated in February of '73 and took the bar and started practicing law in April of '73. Then I retired on December 31 of 2016. So it was over 43 years of law practice. Gardens teach you a lot about life. And when I was practicing law, I would come home from work. As my wife said, I had this downtown venom in me. And so we would get a beverage perhaps and come out and sit in the garden, and shortly after sitting in the garden you sort of get calmed down, and like I said, they're very restorative in terms of getting your batteries recharged. So they've played a huge role the last 15 or 16 years now. My wife has transformed the inside, and I've worked on the outside with the help of Ryan Gainey, landscape architect in Atlanta. We became very, very good friends, very close. He was a man I loved and missed terribly. He died tragically in July of 2016 in a fire. The only thing I always give myself credit for was just saying, okay, we'll let you do what you want to do. You know, it was like giving an artist a blank canvas and said, paint me a painting. And we said, basically, build us a garden. And I had no idea what it would turn into. Well, the first thing he recognized was that I did not know anything about gardens. So first thing he said is, well, you've got to go to the Cotswolds in England and go visit those gardens like Hidcote and Sissinghurst and Hestercombe and find out about gardens. So we went and took a trip to the Cotswolds and started learning about gardens. And I never will forget walking into the first garden, I think it might have been Hidcote, and going, oh my gosh. How long have they been doing this? Gardens should reflect and be a part of the home. And so the residents should reflect the gardens and vice versa. They're really integrated. And so it's an arts and crafts house. I think he knew this ought to have the feel of an arts and crafts garden to fit the house. And so on the pool, he wanted to create something that would look like a stables. And sure enough, first people that drove up the driveway and took a look at it when it was under construction said, oh my God, he's building a stables. And bingo, you know, that's exactly the feeling we were trying to create. We did the pergola in 2005. Then he comes in and starts putting in the boxwood. You know, he planned them on this side at the posts, and the posts of the pool line up with the columns of the pergola, exactly. Then he put in the two crepe myrtles down there at the end. But the end result, which I'm sure he had in mind from the get-go, is what we call the symmetrical garden. We spend a lot of time sitting in this pavilion looking out this symmetrical garden, and there's something about that symmetry that is very, very peaceful, soothing, serene, and very restorative. This is not a garden that has lots of different types of flowers, and it's more of an architectural garden. I love the greens. You know, the new growth on the box is, to me, I mean, divine, and if you go feel it, it's so soft. And then you've got the dark of the ilex. So it's a play of the light and the dark of the greens that is terrific. And then you do have some color. Ryan always has something blooming, like these Virginia bluebells right behind me. You know, it's hard to say where a favorite spot is. You know, I could say it's sitting right here in this pavilion and looking at this symmetrical pool garden. But I've also sat in the pergola on either end, and it's delightful. I love to take people on tours. That's probably one of my favorite things in the world. Thank heaven for the Dogwood Festival. I mean, the Dogwood Festival has been going for a long time, and it has been and continues to be integral and such an important, vital part of the cultural fabric of Knoxville, and has been for a long, long time. You know what I found is most gardeners love to show off their garden, and every garden is different, and every garden can be magical. But I love this garden, I love this place, I love this hill, and so I'm happy to share it, and I love to talk about it, and I don't know all the answers. I usually learn more from The people I take around that I'm probably telling them, we want everybody to try to have an opportunity to enjoy what we have here in the view. Ryan used to say this was his garden, and you go out to the view and look at the mountains and the Tennessee River and say that was God's garden. I always say it feeds the soul. Lord knows we need to have our hearts and souls fed, and this is a garden that does that.